What's up, YouTube? Today we're going to be reacting to the Technoblade LARPing situation. I'm sure you guys know who Charlie is, but this is from Penguin Zero, just in case you guys weren't aware.
I've got a bit of a weird thing that I want to blabber about for a
I know a
little
little
bit.
bit about this just
I've
from
been aware
TikTok.
of the LARPtuber community for a few weeks. Chat put that puppy on my radar. In a nutshell, it's basically a bunch of people that have made channels to emulate other YouTubers. So they take on the persona like Larpaplier, who does like old school Markiplier style.
I think LARPtube in general is like kind of wholesome. I don't think it's too much of a problem. Techno LARP is a little bit of a different case, but I'll let Charlie talk about it before I give my thoughts.
Content, they do similar mannerisms, similar videos that they made back in the day, and there's LARP tubers for a ton of channels. Like there's one for me, one for so many others, and it's like a growing, like blossoming community. And I think it's all in good fun from everything I've seen. And then today, Matt's been really like today. Matt's been like locked in the mainframe. He's been seeing fucking everything here. Like he's got Pegasus's Millennium Eye. Matt asked me if I had heard about the guy pretending to be Technoblade, and instantly I already knew what that was going to be about. A like LARP tuber that's doing
That's kind of
Technoblade
messed up,
content,
though.
which I
I'm sure
feel is a
Technoblade
really
wouldn't mind, but we
weird
wouldn't know.
concept in and of itself because Technoblade passed away in 2022. It feels weird if you're trying to try and emulate
4
him
years
and in a
ago.
way kind of pseudo take his place
Doesn't feel
in
like
that
that.
content and use that to get views, make money, that kind of thing. So I decided to put my peepers on it to see, like, well,
Thanks for
what
doing
is he
first,
doing? Because maybe
General.
it's like very
In a
respectful.
sec, I'm gonna
And
have
in doing
you
so, I
join
saw
Call
that
with me for the
Technoblade's
next react that
father
we're
actually
doing.
made a statement about it as well, which we'll get to in a moment. And after perusing a little bit, I
Hi,
feel like the
Patrick. I was
guy's
helping my
probably
dad when
approaching
you
it
need it.
with good intentions, but I still find it to
Good
just be
excuse.
off-putting. For example, he's playing with Technoblade's friend Skeppy in
That's
a
alright,
video,
Patrick.
like so he's actively trying to collab with Technoblade's friends while pretending to be their.
That's weird that he collabed with Skeppy. I've seen the clips from the. It's funny. This could not be like healthy for Skeppy's like um mental health. Like this is like equivalent to having like an AI like be like an ex lover or something that you don't talk to anymore, like AI pretending to be a loved one that's like passed away or some shit. Got here before Patrick, you did.
Their deceased friend. Like that's some like skinwalker type shit. Like that
Literally,
just kind of rubs me the wrong way.
Today's the day you've all been waiting for.
he does nail
Skeppy
the impression.
collab.
There's only one game.
He would be so good if he. Fuck, he's Skeppy. I'm your dad. Hope. um, he'd be so much better if he just like made his own channel, because you can tell he does have some talent, like not just with like LARPing Technoblade, but like in his ability to make YouTube videos in general. And he could like actually nail his impression of Technoblade.
Mode we can play right now. Do you know what that game mode is?
It
And
better
Skeppy
not be
can also nail
sumo.
the Skeppy impression as
Not.
well.
Okay.
I don't know, maybe I'm on the crack pipe here, but to me it really does feel like it's more than just paying homage and like
Okay,
a
who the fuck is
wholesome
blowing in
kind
my
of tribute to Technoblade's legacy and like that style of content, and more so now that he's actively trying to be a replacement here in the community for Technoblade, LARPing as him. But I don't even think he's doing it maliciously. I do believe
Yeah,
that this individual is a big fan of Technoblade, and he doesn't use a gold crown. He does silver to show that he's not, Technoblade's level. He's just the guy imitating him. And according to his description, he is saying that he's in the process of deciding where the money that he's earned from this Technoblade LARPing is going to go, like to
you
what
deserve that
charity.
rating.
So I do get the sense that this isn't a bad person here. It's not some mustache twirling supervillain.
At least he's
doing
giving
this
it to
for
charity,
evil reasons or
unless he's like
anything.
lying about that.
But I also still just don't think that this is necessarily a good thing either. And like I mentioned, Technoblade's father has responded, and it feels pretty obvious that his father is just in a really uncomfortable, awkward spot with this whole thing. So first and foremost, TechnoLARP does openly state that he never got permission from the family to do this. I never got permission, but TechnoDad has seen me and has not had any intent to stop me as of the moment. We don't know his thoughts yet. Let's give him some time to figure out if he likes it or not. I don't love that statement from TechnoLARP because he's apparently reached out multiple times to talk to TechnoDad about it, to get his feelings on
It's
it.
like he's being
and
as respectful as he can while still making the content without permission. It's like, so he's not being respectful, but he's being unrespectful in the most respectful way possible.
hasn't received any response,
Disrespectful.
so he's taken that silence as like a thumbs up to keep doing it in the meantime. Like, I feel like if you cared enough about it, you'd probably wait to hear his thoughts on it instead of still just going hog
I
wild.
wonder how
with
long
it.
he waited, because like I feel like if it's over 2 weeks, then it's not too bad coming from him.
At least that's what I would have expected if this is truly, all about being respectful and everything, considering you are making a career out of LARPing as this
Keep my street. You don't even have to type anything to
Man's
keep a street. You just have to stay there for 5 minutes.
deceased son. And according to this article, TechnoLARP said his monetization was disabled, claimed he would not earn revenue unless TechnoDad allowed it. I haven't found
Yeah.
that post on his Twitter, so maybe it was somewhere else. And I also don't know if that's referring to like donating the money to charity, because right now, at least judging by the about section on his channel, that is his plan with it. So I don't know if like that's what he's doing temporarily until TechnoDad decides whether or not he's allowed to make money personally from it or not, which I think would be fucked up. Not sugarcoating that, not pulling any punches. I think that would truly be pretty sinister there. At least right now, you can say that the money's going to a positive cause through this whole thing. But if it does end with him trying to like personally financially gain from it, I think that'd be an entirely different story. And I've already seen like
My mic's tweaking.
cope
How so? It doesn't seem like it's doing bad. Okay.
and like the false equivalents where people are saying, well, what about Michael Jackson impersonators and Elvis Presley
That's
impersonators,
so
which are very
different.
popular? I think that is a dog shit argument with fart on top. I don't even think it's worth getting into the weeds of it. There is such an obvious difference between a YouTube creator like Technoblade and
I'm surprised he's not
Michael
making profit
Jackson
from
and
it,
Elvis
and like the parents haven't like explicitly gone out the way to shut it down. Then I don't mind it. Like a bee was in your headset? Well, I'm not using a headset.
Presley. Like, I really don't even think it's worth yapping on that further. I think anyone that can activate some neurons should see why this really isn't a great counterpoint by any means. And another thing I've seen is people saying that Technoblade himself would find it entertaining and would give his blessing. And maybe, but you don't know that. Nobody knows that. So it's not fair to just write it off saying, nope, this is all good because I'm sure that he would be giggling at it too. And it feels like that's just a way for people to like hand wave maybe a gift.
It's like if it was a bad impression, nobody would care. But he's just too good at it to where it's basically identical to actual Technoblade content, which is a good and a bad thing. To be create. Okay, well, it's different for Technoblade than any other creator because he's dead. Like, do you think he's gonna? You think if TechnoLARP dies, he's gonna make a TechnoLARP video with his dad? Like, if you're reading this, I am dead.
Guilty feeling that they get by watching this
That'd be crazy if the hate becomes too much for the channel, so he just like quits in the last two videos. It's called So Long Nerds.
content potentially. I don't know, but there's no way of knowing how he would respond to it, unfortunately. So all you can go by is like, well, how does his father
Because
feel
he's a
about it?
Ouija
And I
board.
think that's a very fair thing to look at because this is his son that is now being LARPed by this individual. So what does he think? He said, I've been avoiding addressing this for a while now. I just don't know how to react to this. I mean, certainly it's flattering to Techno, but like, what am I supposed to do? I will say that TechnoLARP has reached out
Oh, I didn't see this.
to me on a few occasions to get my take on things, and I have been putting that off for a while. I just don't know what to say to him. Lately, I've been feeling very much like I just want to hide in my room and work on my scripts and space
Scripts. The fuck you post? Is this channel active? I didn't know that. I feel a little guilty for I'll just let him read it.
visualization software. Some days I don't go outside. It's very peaceful, and I really haven't had enough peace in my life. I feel a little guilty for how I've kind of disappeared from the community, but I know I'll come back at some point. Anyway, my response is inconclusive. I'm still ruminating on the whole thing.
25% of the way to getting VIP W's.
Totally understandable
Doesn't do
perspective here.
anything,
It
but
is a confusing and
congrats.
uncomfortable
You'll get a badge
topic and
eventually,
thing
I'm
to
sure.
even be thinking about as a father with a son who's passed away. Like that, and especially in his case where for years now there's been like a ton of like fucked up things people have been like doing and like sending his way. So like yeah, it's something that he's
Didn't
very
some
clearly
like VTuber make like Rule 34 art of him and her?
conflicted on because as he says on one
I
hand
remember this
it is like
happening.
very flattering to his son like what impact his son made on so many others to such an incredible degree that someone wants to like literally try and be him and entertain through his son's style that he helped innovate and pioneer. But it goes beyond just being inspired by him to try and do content. It is literally trying to wear his skin like a fucking flesh suit, like a flesh Gundam, and be
Dude,
the
he
Technoblade
is.
guy. The tech.
Oh yeah, could have been daddy. No, that's not the react. I'm probably not gonna react. It could have been daddy on stream after that one. I don't know. It just didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. But I forgot what I was gonna say.
Technoblade LARPer. Even if he doesn't think that he's trying to be a replacement.
Oh yeah, no, it's just too identical to the actual content, the source. Like he's too good at LARPing. Sorry. If he would have like LARPed any other YouTuber, it wouldn't. Like he probably would be the most viewed LARP channel. He switches this up so now he becomes moist LARPical.
Again, by integrating himself with Technoblade's friends like that as the Technoblade LARPer, it is something that feels like it's encroaching on that territory. And I don't believe that's okay, and I think that's a very uncomfortable position for his father to be in. He also replied to a user on Twitter who asked, how do you feel about
Here, do
people
you
who
have a
see you as
moist LARP
Techno's
channel?
replacement? I am not a replacement. I'm an obvious knockoff to entertain people. I could never be him. And that's the right lip service, but when you are actively collabing with Technoblade's friends, you are now going beyond just paying homage to the creator that you're emulating. You are now directly getting involved in that community as the Techno LARPer. So naturally,
Why is there no Wozu's LARP
as
channel?
you continue to do that, more and more members of the community will view you as the Technoblade guy. Like, yeah, you're LARPing, but you are like the Technoblade guy now. So even if your intention isn't to be a replacement, by integrating yourself in that way beyond just making like videos that are kind of tributes to the content or like, you know, just meant to entertain and remind
Yeah, it's
people
not
of
really
like the
tributes.
incredible work
That's
that
the only thing.
Technoblade did, it just feels over the line. At least to me, it does. Like, doing LARP tubing on the whole, I think is totally fine. And it feels like all of them, for the most part, are coming from like a place of good intentions and good fun. And it's been like really, you know, a lot of silliness and wackiness, but at the end of the day, it's all like very wholesome for the most part. And even in this case, I don't think this is a bad guy or anything, but this is just very different than the others because this is someone that is no longer with us, and now you are making a career off of
Yo,
impersonating
his
them
teeth are fucked up.
like one to one.
I didn't notice that. Sorry, hold up. His teeth are
Integrating
fucked
yourself
up.
into his community of friends as well.
Like they're white,
and
but like that one tooth is like
integrating
extremely just
yourself
crooked.
into the family by constantly reaching out, and instead of waiting for them to give their perspective on it, whether or not you have like their blessing, like, which I think would be a very nice gesture, you instead just take their silence as just the go go go, put your foot on the gas. Like, it just, I don't think that
It's
that's
kind of a mess in this video,
like
not gonna lie.
in the
His hair.
good spirit of like LARP tubing. It would have been significantly better had you just been someone that was very clearly inspired by Technoblade and making your own content as your own content creator, paying homage to it and growing that way, instead of just instantly being like, no, I'm just the Techno LARPer. I'm just going to be the Technoblade guy. So if you ever need someone that can kind of
To
sound
fill the
like
void.
Technoblade and makes Technoblade content, then collab with me.
Maybe I
It's
just
just,
haven't
I don't
heard
know. I
Technoblade's voice in a while, but it sounded identical in like that, like the editing style and shit.
don't love it. Like, be honest with me. Am I
Like
on
he's
crazy
actually
pills or something?
professional.
Because I do kind of get similar vibes to how individuals or even corporations will use AI to bring back celebrities who have passed away
Yeah.
for their own self interests. Like,
Drake used on fucking
now, of course, you can
Tupac on the
argue,
one
well,
diss
there is
track.
no self interest here because he's donating the money to charity, apparently. But even with that being the case, yeah, that's a positive thing.
He
He
hasn't
is
even
benefiting in
showed
a big
proof of
way.
it though.
This is a very successful YouTube channel. This is a very successful career he is building here solely off being the Technoblade LARPer
He
one to
needs to
one
switch it and
and
just make his
being
own
in
content.
his friend group
He
as
has
well to
talent.
solidify himself there. So, like, he
I
is
don't know about
benefiting
that.
in a big way
He had
without
Skype me in
permission
one
from the
video.
family, and he has reached out to try to
That
get
friend
that
group is
permission
long
with
gone.
no response and still just doing it anyway. So, like, they feel kind of similar to how some people use AI, but not even to get into the can of worms there. Like, point is, I don't love it. I think it is weird. I don't think he is a bad person. Like, I don't think he is doing it
I don't think you're
maliciously.
a bad
Like,
guy.
these are probably things that he doesn't even really think about. Maybe he is just a super fan who had a voice that was similar, loved this content, and wanted to keep the spirit alive now that LARP tubing
Yeah.
is going
That's
so
what I feel
well
like is the
online.
case, but there's always
So,
just that
like, maybe it is
1%.
coming from a good place, but I just don't think that it's the most overly respectful thing to be doing. I don't. And I do really feel bad for Techno Dad, who is in a very uncomfortable situation with the whole thing. Anyway, I wanted to yap about it.
Okay. There's 2 seconds left this video. Thanks, Charlie, for the video. He's a leap for reacts, what can I say? I do think the situation's kind of messed up in a way, just because he hasn't gotten permission from the family. But I feel like the second he gets permission, it's gonna be fine. If he does get permission, that is. But I think that's gonna be all for today, YouTube. Make sure to like, subscribe, all that. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.